Hey guys, what's going on? This is Andrew here today, and we're going to be talking about Pokemon Legends Arceus. To start off, I'm just going to say that I really am loving this game so far. I haven't gotten crazy far into the game as of the making of this video, but from where I've gotten to at this point, it really has been a blast. What I'm basically going to be covering in this video are some positives and negatives of what I've seen so far, and I more than likely will talk about the game in full in some other video once I get fully done with it. I'm going to be leaving out the spoilers in here, so I won't be discussing the story at all, just the raw gameplay. So with that guys, let's get right into it. First off, let's talk about some positive things that I came across. Starting off, we have the idea of the game itself, and that is that it is an open world Pokemon game that feels very closely related to Zelda Breath of the Wild. I constantly find myself exploring the world rather than trying to go to every main story objective like I did in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. There's tons of Pokemon to catch, including ones with different types than the originals, items to find, and with the new game mechanics, it really does make the open world concept something that I hope they expand on with future titles. I find that level grinding is really fun because rather than just encountering them in the tall grass, you get to find them in various areas, and they even challenge you with the alpha Pokemon, which is similar to where there is a ridiculously high level Pokemon in the open area in Sword and Shield. On top of that, you can even get EXP for releasing your Pokemon to get items for you that you can't access yourself. Lastly, the boss battles in this game are really solid, and I think that a majority of people will have fun with them, even the casuals, considering that they aren't very challenging to begin with. Alright guys, there was actually one thing that I forgot to add in this video that was a positive, and that is the crafting system in this game. Basically, you can get a certain amount of items in the wild and craft them into stuff such as revives, Pokeballs, potions, all types of items that benefit you in the game. It's a really cool concept. I honestly really like this thing. They're putting together something like they would have put in something like Zelda, and I really think it's a cool feature to add into this game, and just having it is really cool, especially when I can just make a ton of Pokeballs rather than having to spend a ton of my money in-game on them. Next up, let's get into some negatives. So unfortunately, there are a lot of negative things that I found in this game, and that doesn't mean that I don't like the game. There just are a lot of things that I wish were done differently. First, yes, this is an open world game, but it's not to the same scale as something like Breath of the Wild or Skyrim. The worlds are still big, but you can't simply walk from one area to another area. Instead, you have to basically travel to these places and then explore each area that you quick travel to. I really wish that they would have made this game fully open rather than limiting me to areas that prevent you from going further without quick traveling, but at the same time, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just something that I wish they would have done to where you can explore the entire world and go from checkpoint to checkpoint like you kind of did in Breath of the Wild. Next, I really feel like they could have come up with better starters to use for this game. Cyndaquil is probably my least favorite fire type, but I still didn't have to think twice about picking it over Oshawott or Rowlet. I will say that I do think that the final forms for each of them are interesting due to the type changes, but I still feel like they could have done probably a ton better ones. Personally, I would have done something like Chimchar, Mudkip, and Bulbasaur, but there could have been other options that I would have been fine with as well that would have been much better than these. Next, the visuals aren't very good. They were basically GameCube level at best, and I truly believe that Nintendo could have got something like this running on the 3DS. I can't say that the game looks absolutely terrible, but come on. They had so much extra power to work with where they could have made this game look absolutely phenomenal, but instead, I find games like Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness looking a ton better than something like this. Lastly, I really am not a fan of the battle mechanics at all. The wild Pokemon just seem way too OP to the point of where I'll be taken down by a Pokemon 20 levels lower than me that I still have a type advantage over. Agile moves where you have a chance to attack more than once but have a weaker attack, and strong moves where you have a stronger attack but you don't get to land a hit in your next turn honestly should have never been implemented because it makes trainer battles and boss fights just unnecessarily hard, and this is how I find myself losing to a lot of over-leveled wild Pokemon, regular wild Pokemon in general, or even just trainers that have multiple Pokemon in their party. The worst part of the new mechanics is that they did some major changes to the status conditions, being burn, poison, sleeping, paralysis, stuff like that. Being burned and poisoned doesn't last the entire battle, which kind of defeats the purpose of the items that cure the stuff, whether you're in the battle or outside of the battle, and and right away when you're done with the battle, you don't have these conditions at all. So also kind of takes away the purpose of having these items in your bag. And on top of that, they basically made your Pokemon being asleep the exact same as your Pokemon being paralyzed. You are no longer asleep, you are just simply drowsy. I'm not even kidding, you don't fall asleep, you just don't land a hit due to drowsiness from time to time, basically making it almost exactly like paralysis. So I don't know why they made so much change in this area that was already executed perfectly in the main games, but it makes certain situations in the game just an annoying hassle, and sometimes I just want to stop playing when I get to parts like this where I'll literally have a Typhlosion that at level 45 that dies to a ridiculously low level Pokemon that was able to land 2 hits on mine when I couldn't take it out with a powerful move. To basically sum everything up, this game was extremely well made, and I can easily place this game in my top favorite Pokemon games of all time list, but they could have done so much more to make this even better. Honestly, I really feel like this was probably the best Pokemon game of all time when putting it in the category of ones that tried to do something different. So when I mean like Pokemon games that tried to do something different, putting this in the category of Pokemon XD Gala Darkness, Pokken Tournament, Pokemon Snap, Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, comparing it to those kind of games, this is probably the best in that category. It really is a solid game. There are just a few things that I wish they did differently. And to be real with you guys, if they would have made this game the exact same way and just didn't change how the battling actually worked, I probably would have had this game as my favorite Pokemon game of all time. But the battling in the game just gets really frustrating, and I don't think I'm ever actually going to get used to that aspect of the game, because I know I've only had the game for 2 days, but every single time I find myself in a situation of this battle, I just get frustrated all the time. So, well guys, that's my take on Pokemon Legends Arceus so far. I'm not sure if I'll do a full review of the game since I haven't really done a video like that on here yet, but if I feel like it needs my take, I'll be sure to do it. Despite my negativity of a large aspect of the game, I really am loving it so far, and I feel like I never want to put it down whenever I'm playing it, and I really haven't felt that way with a game in a really long time. Probably not since something like Mario Odyssey or Doom Eternal. So yeah, it's been quite a while since I've had a game that sucked me in this hard. I mean, I went to work today, and my coworkers and I were all just waiting for time to go by so we can just go home and play the game. And of course, I'm making this video and taking away from playing the game, so I want to get it done so I can go and play it. So I'm going to end the video right here, guys, so I can go and play some more of it. So thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you all in the next one.